Why scientists gave bacteria an ice bucket challenge. And can bacteria actually predict that winter is coming? What if I told you that bacteria could predict winter better than your weather app? I know it sounds ridiculous, but these tiny little things are basically out here playing their own version of winter is coming, and guess what? They're absolutely crushing it. Stick with me, because what I'm about to tell you is seriously one of the coolest things I've ever heard. So imagine this. Bacteria have internal clocks, like tiny little timers inside them, kind of like the world's smallest alarm clocks. But here's the kicker. These clocks don't just help them react to the seasons, no. They actually help them anticipate what's coming. It's like they've got this superpower, a built-in sixth sense for winter. Wild, right? Now, let me tell you how scientists figured this out, because the whole thing sounds like a bizarre science experiment straight out of a sci-fi movie. They basically gave bacteria an ice bucket challenge. So these scientists took some blue-green algae, cyanobacteria if you want to sound fancy, and put them on different day schedules. Some were given long days, some short days, and some a mix, like that perfect balance of light and dark you get during equinox. Sounds kind of like they were setting up bacteria vacation schedules, right? And after a few days of this, boom! They threw these poor bacteria into an ice bath. Sounds a bit mean, but hey, science sometimes demands a bit of cold, hard reality. And here's where it gets crazy. The bacteria that had been chilling, pun intended, on the short day schedule, basically they'd been living in winter mode, were absolute survivors. They did 3 times better than the bacteria that hadn't been prepped. Turns out, after about 6 to 8 days of short days, they're like, oh, winter's coming. No problem. We're ready for it. I mean, can you imagine if we were that prepared? I'm still scrambling to find my gloves every year while these tiny organisms are out here anticipating the cold like they're seasoned pros. But here's where it gets even more interesting. If you mess with their internal clocks, all that winter prep, gone. They lose their cold-resisting powers. Which is nuts because, let's be real, how are bacteria more organized about winter than we are? So, how does this work? Well, there's this thing called photoperiodism, fancy word for how living things measure the length of the day and adjust their biology. These bacteria have it down to a science. They don't just react to the cold, they're out here planning for it like they've got their own version of a winter weather app. Imagine if we had that level of foresight. No more freezing at the bus stop because you forgot it was going to snow. And get this, it's not just a personal survival skill. They're actually passing this winter prep info down to their kids and grandkids. Mind blown. So here's the big takeaway. Bacteria might be tiny, but they are straight-up survival geniuses. Did you know about this amazing fact? Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below.